Dear friends, Namaste. Today we'll try to understand death. Right? I'll try to share my understanding, whatever from my readings or whatever I have learned about this thing called death. And when we say death, generally what comes to mind is fear, the fear of ending. That is what comes to our mind. Uh, I'll I'll share a beautiful story of Buddha. Like once a young woman who lost her son, and she's carrying her son, carrying the dead body of her son, and she's roaming for help, actually roaming the city, and she came to know about Buddha. So she came to Buddha with a hope that she will bring him back. And Buddha said, I will fulfill your desire, but go to the village and bring some grains. Okay, but the condition is that that house where you are bringing grains, it should not face death. Okay, so she goes to the village, keeping the body along with Buddha, and she roams all over the village. And by the evening, sorry, she realizes that there is no house which hasn't faced this death. Okay, and she comes back to Buddha and she buries the body, and she became a disciple of Buddha. This is a story I read somewhere, and the most beautiful thing, the way he teaches, right? So it's like she realized that it's not only in my family, to my family beings or my friends. It is there. It is there. The whole world is facing this fact. So that realization has relieved her from the pain, the suffering that she lost something. Okay, so that is a very beautiful story to understand. So the thing is that she understood something, right? She has seen death before coming to Buddha. She is in pain, suffering, suffering of loss. Okay, and after going for the grains and coming back, she, if you see the psyche of that lady, now it became a fact to her, the death. She accepted that it is a fact. Both life and death are part of life. So she took it as a fact. And now there is no more pushing it further. Right? So if we can see the beauty of that, then obviously we can live much. Actually, if you see, death is the most profound teacher. It's not some enemy or some dreadful thing, but in fact it is a profound teacher if you can move close and if you learn. And again, one important thing is, we are talking about natural death, naturally body coming to an end, not about the accidents or suicidals and everything, but the body coming to an end in a natural way. Okay, that death, that coming to an end of the body, ending of the body, that we are talking about. And if we see our life journey, there is birth and death. And if you see this whole journey, what is there? You see, what is there in the present? See, at the present, we are prisoners of our own mind, right? We are suffering because of our own thought process. Right? Struggle, effort, full of effort, struggle, responsibilities, whatever it is. It is a kind of turmoil. Day to day living is a most painful task. Now, at present, right? And with all those, so my life journey, when it is filled with that, so the important thing is, can I bring order and peace in my life journey, in my life, in the present? So this is important, right? Not what happens after death. That is really not important. What is important, or what matters to us, is, can there be order in our life in the present moment? Order in the psychological field, right? You see, presently, just give a thought. This is my understanding. Don't need to accept or deny, but see, presently this is our lifestyle: attachment, possessiveness, greed, fear, desire, running after pleasure, prestige, recognition, right? This is the struggle and effort, turmoil and pain, but still we carry on in that manner. But suppose if a person has understood all those things, right? He has taken the death as a fact, right? Not in an optimistic or pessimistic manner, but he has seen death as a fact. Okay, and with that realization, he went deeply inside himself, and he understood his own consciousness, his thought process. He observed more thoroughly, and out of that observation, if there is a sense of freedom, right, he lives in an orderly manner here, in a psychologically orderly, in the sense with great sense of freedom, beauty, dignity, right? If that can happen, you see, if the way of life, you see, again, the most important thing is, for such a person, he is absent for himself. You see, psychologically, he is not too much concerned about himself, right? He care about the things. There is care, right? Care about people, the things that he had, or there is hard work in an inclusive manner. Everything is there. It is not running away from life. At the same time, certain struggle and effort of the man who hasn't understood this prison, that is absent. You see, so his journey is with a more happy and joyful. See, if you observe, can there be fear for such a mind? Suppose you are living with joy, great happiness, as though you have only today. You are not bothering about the end, whether it is tomorrow or 10 years. You have only today. You are living with the fact, or a deep feeling that the today is the most valuable gift in our life. If you are living in such a way, can there be fear? Can there be fear about death? Right? And if you see death, natural death, again, natural death, we are not advising any forceful of ending. That is not a healthy thing, actually. That is not dignified, actually. But in natural death, if you move close and if you understand, it actually gives freedom, which we are longing, which we are putting effort to get rid of the prison of the mind, right? And it is there in natural. When you come to an end, it is there, whatever you are running after. See, all life, if you observe more sensitively, you don't want to be there for yourself. You see, it may sound crazy, but this is what everyone wants. The businessman, the politician, everyone. The man who is running after sex or money or power, prestige, whatever it is. See, when he get that, what is happening? He is losing for himself. You see, people wants to dominate and want authority. They want to be on top of everybody, or someone wants power. political power or financial power, whatever. What is happening? For a moment, when you got what you want, you got mental peace. Mental peace in the sense you are not there. The mind, which is running like a machine constantly, friction with great friction and conflict, all that has calmed down. That means you are not there for yourself. So this is what, if you see, when you are confused, if you run more and more, suppose if you are lost in a forest, and out of confusion, if you are running, you can't find the way, right? But once you realize that by doing this I am losing, I don't get, then you become quiet, you stop, right? You see, if you can stop in such a way, then you can see that every human being, what human being want is the absence of the mind. You go for drugs, we go for drugs, or we go for sensual pleasure, we go for social respect, we go for many things, we go for even charity, right? Why? Because we want to lose ourselves in something, right? So you see, this is the point. So you see, now you are losing yourself. To lose yourself, you are dependent on somebody, on power or money or person, right? You are dependent on somebody to lose yourself. And as long as you are losing yourself and there is dependency, out of dependency you are losing, there is sorrow. So is there any possibility that without any outside dependency, can I lose myself? And can my life be full of energy? You see, you must listen to this very carefully. We are saying that life must go on with the great energy, but at the same time you are absent for yourself. It's not that you are running away from your family or that and this, right? But a revolution within you, you have seen the falseness of the mind, right? And all these things can be, this thing can is very effective. When you see a death in your family, it shatters away. It destroys all the imagination, all the prison that we have built for a moment, right? So if you can understand the impermanency of life, or the fact that we are guests on this planet, right, as a fact, not an optimistic or pessimistic way, right? If you are pessimistic, then you think about it and you feel sorrow about the ending. Or optimistic means you run away from nothing is there to act, and you run away to some not in that manner, but as a fact. Can we see the ending as a fact? See, if we can approach it as a fact, right, and move close to it, then it is the profound teacher. It is the profound teacher which is useful to put you out of your mind, the prison that my mind has created for you, for all human beings. It has created the prison, and you are a prisoner in that. And as we have discussed, it is you who has given the chance for the mind to create a prison. So don't go for mind, but it is you. You are never trying to understand yourself. That lack of self-knowledge is the ground for the prison or the sorrow. So that is the reason self-knowledge is highly important. Self-knowledge, we must go for, generally the misconception or the most foolish thing that people say is it is at the end. when you become old, you should go for philosophy or whatever it is. You must learn about yourself. That is foolishness. You see, first you must be free and happy being, and all through your journey you have to be joyful. It's not that you struggle and you lose all your time, all your life, and at the end you will be joyful for a little amount of time, or you'll die like that. It's not the wise thing, right? The all through our life, all through the journey, there must be happiness and joy, and that is where this is really helpful. Like to approach, if you can approach it as a fact and not in a pessimistic or optimistic way, that is the reason, and it gives a certain kind of aloofness. So if the person who is more who can learn from this, the things will change. Attachment, he can see the falseness of attachment and possessiveness, right? And they can be replaced. Replaced. No, you don't replace, but they will be replaced with care and hard work, but in an inclusive manner, right? Care, you care about people, your family, friends, whatever it is, but you don't get attached to them, right? So, see, if you can live in such a way, you are living with death, right? So the life and death, they go hand in hand. It is not at the end. When you keep it at the end, and when a human being wants to push it away, there is sorrow. But what we can learn from death as a fact, right? And it can destroy, as I said, if you can learn from it, it can. That is, see, you even in our ancient religions, a healthy vairagya bhavana, aloofness, that is really helpful, really gives happiness. That means not identifying with something and feeling that I am great. We generally do that, right? We identify with our family and the success of our children or our parents, the success of our parents, or the success of the nation, and the greatness of your religion or the caste, whatever it is. You identify. See, when you identify, the question is what you are inside. What you are inside. That really matters, not what your country has achieved or what something else has achieved. If you identify, it is easy, it is satisfying. But that is for time being, it won't stand. But if you have really something in yourself, that stays with you, right? And that is where self-knowledge is high priority. It's not something, it's fundamental education. If we can learn few things, then we can share these things with our children in a healthy manner, in an educative manner, right? And you see, there is one, recently I have seen one YouTube video. There is one neuroscientist, I think, he worked upon NDE. NDE means near-death experiences, and he collected many experiences, and he wrote a book, that Art of Dying, right? And from that, what my understanding is that, see, the transition. He wrote a book, Art of Dying, right? Art of Living. Like Art of Living, he wrote a book, Art of Dying. So the most painful thing in death is the transition. You see, that is the only thing that you need to take care. If you are ready for transition any moment, right? You see, that is where we said, absence of you. Can we live in that way of life? Can we find out that way of life? then the transition is easy. You are ready for any moment. It may be 10 days or another 50 years. That you are not really, that thought is not coming to your mind, but you are only giving energy to make this day beautiful. You see, for such a person, the transition is very smooth. But whereas for the person who is attached, who is self-centered or about me all the time, right? He suffers a lot during this process. The transition is painful. See? So that is what my understanding is. I will try to give YouTube link for this art of dying. So I will repeat the important points. Like, we are talking about natural death, right? And we are not recommending any ending of this life has to be joyful. So for that we are trying to learn from the ending, okay? And see, we are seeing the falseness of attachment, possessiveness, but still there is care for the things or people, and still there is hard work. See, but in an inclusive manner, right? With a love and compassion. You see, for such a person, you see, the order is important. You see, there is a way of life in which we can say the order is more important, not me. You see, orderly, when things moving in an orderly manner, that order is important. Once we can see the importance, feel deeply that order going things. If you see the nature, it is full of order, right? The rotation of the planets, right? The seas, or everything, the growth of a plant, everything, many like innumerable things happening without your knowing, even in your body. And if you can observe, that is order, right? So can we say that can we deeply feel the importance of order? If you can so feel the order, that education, that self-learning gives, makes you absence of yourself naturally, without depending on some religion, book, whatever it is, or drug, or sensual pleasure, whatever it is. You don't depend on outside thing to lose yourself, but within yourself you have seen the falseness of the mind, the imaginations, the illusions that it can create. You see, it creates illusion that something is important, and we run after that, right? So in looking inside, if you can see the falseness of the so much work that the mind do, right? The illusions that it can create, the cunning nature of it, if you can see, then you can see the beauty of order. Then you say that order is more important than this limited self, order, right? So if you can deeply feel that the order is really important than this limited self, then there is I don't know, I'm supposing, but you have to examine this. I'm supposing, I'm feeling that there might be some protection, there might be some real security, but no one can give guarantee for that. No one can give guarantee for that. You have to go, you have to take this journey, right? Maybe when I can really say, when I can really feel that order is much more important, the order outside or within my mind, that order is really much more important than this limited self. That moment I feel there is a kind of protection or security. what we are longing for, what we are destroying our lives for, there might be some real security. Okay, so as I said in all my other videos, don't turn this into wisdom. Don't cling to my videos or myself, the person, the videos, everything is not important. What is important is your life, right? Use these as pointers and turn them into wisdom of your own. Okay, thank you for watching.